This video is made for adult collectors because ninja creepy lady thing.
Miss me?
Nightbird was a sick design in the film, and I really wanted a toy of it when I saw it for the first time. And when the mainline one got announced, I wanted it so bad, brown paint and all. And when I got it, thanks to my friend Beige from the UK, it was cool, but it just didn't scratch that itch of a good Rise of the Beast Nightbird. So when the Studio Series 1 got announced, I was excited, and then the stock images really didn't help her toy at all. But now that I have it in hand, boy, it's not perfect, but I really like it. Right off the bat, I'm saying it's better than the mainline one, hands down, in my opinion anyways. Now this still isn't 100% accurate, but it looks the part. On that 100% accuracy thing though, she is still a concept design. Now I know someone's gonna be like, but this toy came out after the film, this should be accurate. Well, according to the designers, it takes about 18 months on average to make one of these from start to finish. So this would have been started 18 months before we saw it, which was way before the film came out. So they would probably have still been working off concept art pieces and early renders, hence why she resembles this more than this. The art depicts her side hip skirt kibble in like more detail, her fanned out crotch, her skinnier legs, her piston feet. It also depicts her without wings, which is something I want to talk about. If this is indeed based off the concept without the wings, then these tiny wings that feel like an afterthought kind of makes sense. If they didn't know she was going to have wings till the trailers, they would have had to scramble to fit a small set in a short amount of time, otherwise they'd have to re-engineer the whole toy. Hence why they are so small and skinny. That may not be true, as I haven't asked any of the designers, but that's the most plausible theory I can come up with. She's also a tad shorter than the mainline one, but it does scale better, in my opinion, with Battle Trap and Scourge. She looks a hell of a lot better in both modes in comparison to that mainline one. Like, she just looks great. She has kibble, but it isn't really a detriment to the toy. She looks dynamic and edgy in poses and feels great to mess with. She only comes with one sword though, which is a real shame. There is an alt mode storage slot for the second one, but they didn't give her a second one. I assume it's just because they mirrored the parts over and that's it. But I just give her the mainline one sword. I do wish she came with a second one though. For how small her feet are and how big her back is, she does also balance quite well. Like the feet are made and positioned in such a good spot that she doesn't fall over. She also has articulated shoulder pads. You can flare them out however you want to. I personally like them like this, just that looks better to me. And I really like the head sculpt. The clear purple piece looks awesome and the beady red eyes underneath, which is the only clear purple part on the toy, so I don't know what sprue that's coming off, but whatever. So Nightbird is as posable as you would want her to be as like a ninja sort of thing, but there's a couple bits that do get in the way that kind of, they don't ruin the experience, they just make it a bit more difficult. And part of that is the backpack. So actually, I'll just get that out of the way right now. When you hold the toy like this, right? Sometimes these little pegs that peg the backpack into place will just come out. And it can be a tad annoying. So like these ports are a lot deeper than the pegs actually are in their dimensions. So if you plug it in at the top, it's going to come out. So you got to make sure you plug it in as close to the bottom of the port as you can, if that makes sense. And then it stays in place. Because if I like move it up just a little bit and give it a squeeze, it comes out. So that is something that is a tad annoying to have to deal with, but once you figure out how to like get it to sit in there properly, it stays. So head is on a ball joint. It can rotate left and right. She can look up that far and down that far. Her like, little hairpiece things do kind of get in the way a little bit, but not a lot. There's enough of a cavity in there to sort of help get around that. Ball joints at the shoulders, they can go out that far. You have elbow bend, bicep rotation. Nothing at the wrist, unfortunately. Sword wielder needs wrist joints. You got waist rotation, though the hip skirts do kind of get in the way of it sometimes. So you just gotta like be careful with it. The hips can go forward that far, they can go back that far, they can go in and out. The hip skirts do not get in the way of this, which is nice. You do have a thigh rotation. Technically, you have a double jointed knee, the way that the leg is designed. It's out of focus. There we go. And then you have the ankle pivot, which is a little higher up, but I kind of see that as more of a boot pivot than an ankle pivot. So I don't know, it just kind of works for me. But yeah, that's her. Oh, and then the wings can flap if you want. That's her posing. Also, you saw earlier, but the sword can store here on the side, or it can store here on the back. Kind of wish it could store this way like in the film, but I guess they just didn't know it was going to do that in the film. But yeah, and there's no toe joints. The toes only bend inwards. They can bend out a little bit, but then it ruins the flatness of the foot, so I wouldn't bother with that. But yeah, posing. She's pretty good. It's a lot better than her wave mate, that's for sure. God, I'm so sad this thing ended up the way it did. So yeah, Nightbird's robot looks quite good. It's nice and solid and works super well with all that posable ninja robot lady stuff. Now, Nightbird's transformation is pretty much just this. However, it is a much better version of this, because getting the legs in on this thing, getting the hood down on this, it's annoying. They really, really, really cleaned it up here, as well as making the backpack a little bit bigger, but that's besides the point. It is still much nicer to handle than the mainline one. So to start with, we're going to just take everything and sort of straighten it out, just to make it all sort of the where it's supposed to be. Then we're going to take the backpack, unpeg it, rotate these wings in and fold this down, and that's pretty much the back of the car done. So we're going to take this, bring it up, going to fold this down, rotate the backpack 180 degrees. Now this whole thing is clear plastic. However, that's a really thick hinge in there. I don't know how well you can see that. That's a very thick hinge. So I'm pretty confident that's not going to break. That's also the only clear plastic piece on here. So other than these front parts, but they're also kind of thick, so that's fine. Speaking of the front parts, we're going to take them and just get a grip on them somehow. There we go. And fold them out like that to form the car chest. That's also how she comes packaged. Then you take this and you bring it up, peg the front in and bring the front section down, and there you have the front of the GTR in place. Now what you want to do is you want to rotate the thigh swivels around, and we'll get that part done in a second. Take the arms, these little pegs right here that will peg into the shoulders, so just bring them in like that. Already having more fun than the mainline. I don't even think you saw that, but there's a little peg there and you peg this in. But yeah, already having more fun than the mainline toy. Next, what you want to do is fold the feet in. You want to then extend the hip skirts, bring this down, rotate the hip skirt, bring the foot in, and just clip it into the hip skirt, like that, and then rotate this up, and that's in place like so. Very, very easy, unlike the main lines where it doesn't want to fit into its own little space, and it can get super annoying trying to get that thing together. Whereas this one, boom, very easy. It's also nice that they gave you more room in here to operate with the legs, because before on the mainline one, there's like a bit that sticks out that gets in the way and it's very annoying. So once you have that done, you bring this section down, it will just hug everything. And then you want to bring these out and slam them into place on the side there. Come on. There we go. Oh, that came undone. But there you have the car mode. Now, one thing that's really, first of all, it looks very nice. But one of the things that's really interesting is, for some reason, it just feels nice to pick up like this and just hold. Like, you don't get the same feeling with this one. And I think it's just because of the way that it's shaped. You see that, how it's a little curved? That makes picking this one up and just holding the car a lot more satisfying to do than the mainline one. Or anything, really. Like, I enjoy picking this up more than I enjoy picking this. And this guy is a better looking car mode. So it's just a very weird thing. And the plastic feels nice too. It's just strange. It's a strange thing to describe, but if you pick this up, you'll understand what I mean. It feels nice in your hand. Little tiny thing. It feels like a small computer mouse. That's actually a pleasant transformation. Like, it's a tad fiddly, but it's not horrible. I actually do flip her back and forth quite a bit. It's very nice and fun and satisfying to do. It's better than the mainline one. I know I keep saying that, but it's true. And this GTR or Skyline or whatever looks amazing. I love it. The brown striping on the side, the purple wheels, those very bright purple wheels, the black tires, and the pinned wheels. They're pinned, which means she rolls nice. It's just, I like this alt mode a lot. And her spoiler is removable if you don't want any downforce on your toy. And honestly, that doesn't look that bad with the spoiler removed. It's kind of neat. The car cleans up so well. The colors are really cool. It's very nice. There is color mismatch though. One thing I will say is in this direct lighting, like I've got a softbox there and a softbox there. In this direct lighting, you can tell the color difference between the painted clear plastic parts and the regular toy. However, if I'm in a little bit more of a dimmer light, like a normal sort of room light, it's a little bit harder to notice, but it is there. I forgot to write this in the script, but it is there. There is a slight cut. They're so close, but it is still a color mismatch, and it is a tad annoying, especially looking at it underneath these massive soft lights. It's just randomly starts dying. It's just nice. Like, I like Nightbird a lot. She's definitely the best deluxe from this wave, and it's just a fun toy. Yes, it has a backpack. Yes, the wings are kind of small. Yes, the transformation is a tiny bit fiddly if done in the wrong order, but I still dig it quite a lot and I do recommend it. I know a lot of people are still skeptical about this, so I would probably say get it on sale or get it with like a GameStop membership or whatever, because then you get discounts. That would be like the best price to pay for it. But if you can't, if you really want to get it full price, I still think full price is not terrible. But that's my look at Rise of the Beast Studio Series Nightbird. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye. Jesus.